and they just charge Gorr. And Gorr is so pissed. He's like, what are you doing dying for a god? Clearly this very much annoys him.
Yeah.
Like people who would be like, yeah, I'd sacrifice my life for a god. He hates that. He hates it. He's with it to his very core. He's so angered by it. So he walks away and gets to the cave entrance. He's like, Butcher, I am here for you, right?
Yeah.
Round two, fight.
Fight.
Exactly. So he goes in again. Gorr makes quick work of him. And he's got like, it's not like a traditional fight, you know, there's like these ichory like things grabbing him and like digging into his skin and stuff. And now we cut to like a Thor that's strung up, hung upside down by this ichory stuff. And again, Gorr is taunting him, right? He's like, you're going to tell me what I want. I once tortured a god of torture. You think you can resist this? And it's pretty badass,
It's
man.
like steroids on steroids.
Yeah, Gorr is like pretty scary. You know, you're like, Jesus. You know, he's killing all these gods. We know that he's killing all these gods in the future, right? Because middle-aged Thor, I guess you'd call it now. Like the present Thor. We see all the gods he's been killing, right? And you're like, this guy must be pretty tough, right? He goes, I've killed gods of torture. The last god of torture I killed, after 30 minutes, I made him give up the location of his wife and children. You're like, oh, Jesus.
This guy's dark.
This guy's dark,
Edge
right?
Lord.
Yeah, he's tough. So he's got Thor at his like wit's end.
Edgegored.
Edgegored?
Yeah, because
Gory. Yeah. Sure. So he's got Thor at
Not
his
like
wit's end.
edge, like melon, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love melons, particularly honeydew.
Anyway.
So he's got Thor at his wit's end. And Thor's like, you know, just like looking like he's about to pass out any second. He's like, just end it, man. I'm not going to tell you anything. Just kill me. And as Gorr's about to like go like, all right, fine. You know, maybe he won't give anything up. A group of Vikings show up going, today we die for Thor, like raising their axes and spears and
They're
like they're hyped.
go,
Yeah,
man.
they're ready to go. These are Vikings. They're like, yeah, this is my jam.
So it's just Mega Chad and his army of Chads.
Yeah, that's it, I guess. Vikings are Chads now. It's canon. So the Vikings are coming in. They're like, today we die for Thor, right? And they just charge Gorr. And Gorr is so pissed. He's like, what are you doing dying for a god? Clearly this very much annoys him.
Yeah.
Like people who would be like, yeah, I'd sacrifice my life for a god. He hates that. He hates it. He's with it to his very core. He's so angered by it. And he's picking them apart one by one, but there's a lot of Vikings. And they're just fighting back and forth. And you get this we sneak away to Thor, who breaks free. He's upside down, remember, just pulls out.
Right.
And in the tumult, Gorr doesn't hear this. And he's like yelling at them. He goes, where's Thor? And you turn to just see Thor with this big, with Bjorn or Bon as they like to call
Bing
it.
bong.
Ping pong, just hack his arm off. He hits him so friggin' hard.
Go!
Yeah, exactly. He hits him so hard that Gorr's body lifts up.
Oh, snap.
Like the shot, and we'll pull the panel up. Gory. His arm is like mid flying off, and he's like lifted into the air by this attack. It's like a beautiful, like, you know, muscular Thor.
Snap, dude.
Right? And Gorr starts freaking out. He's like, no, this cannot happen. I've got a mission to do. I've got things I need to finish. He's like freaking out. He's like losing it.
I left the stove on.
Yeah, he's like losing his freaking mind. And then boom, explosion. And he's gone.
Who did the explosion?
No one knows. Not.
All right.
So the Vikings immediately are like, great, he's dead. Let's revel. Let's tell stories. Let's drink. And Thor's like, nope, we are never talking about this day again. That's it. I don't want to talk about it. And you're
What
like,
happens in Gorr's cave stays in Gorr's
yeah, yes. He's like, but here's the thing that's important to know is that Thor is freaked out, man.
Yeah.
More than you've ever seen Thor. Because remember, I just told you he was about to give up. He was about to be like, just kill me, man.
Oh, yeah. Dude, what a rough day.
That's, yeah. And realize that it's just been like, well, it's actually been one day. It's probably been about like a little over a week, right? Because I told you he woke up, whatever. I mean, it's been, it's been 2 weeks. It's pretty tough. So he's seen a bunch of gods die in front of him, and then he fights this guy who's about to kill him. Basically, Thor survived because Vikings saved him.
Chads.
Which is crazy to think that the Vikings saved him, right? Because he's like their savior to a degree.
Dude.
So
the rescue of the gifts or the memes or whatever.
Yeah. So, all right, we cut to old Thor now.
I just love the idea of, is there the panel of just like the massive amount of Vikings?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
Just like that in the air with their weapons and their spear. You know, their
this
spears.
is
and
way too
axes.
long to do, but it's worth it. So just like,
Okay.
makes zero sense to you, but they get it.
Okay. I'm lost.
There's visual aids for them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just Giga Chad on all the Vikings' faces.
All right, so we cut to old Thor. Remember I told you last we saw him, he was bursting through the door and it was like the sea of berserker dogs, right? So
the demon dogs.
yeah, the demon dogs. And by the way, to be very clear, they look like they're very clearly made of the Gorr Ichor, whatever you want to call it, right? I mean, it's just all black, sort of like his
I'm sure they get that, but I don't get to see the panels.
Yeah, they see the panels. So let me just pull it and show you. So Sea of Berserkers, and he goes out swinging. He just wants to die. You know, he's like, this is it. This is my last fight. I'm going out there. And he's very quickly overcome. There's like an awesome shot of it, just like his arm with Mjolnir like sinking into a sea of black. And you're like, all right, that's it. Old Thor's dead. All right, that closes the story. Except the next shot is him being carried over over their shoulders by a bunch of those demon berserker dogs. They stand up sometimes, I guess. They can take like human.
They can do like tricks.
Yeah, I guess so. And they're
Fetch
holding him over
and
his
set
shoulder.
and
Yeah, exactly.
Sit pretty.
They can't fetch Mjolnir though. It's just sitting on the battlefield as they're carrying him.
Nice.
Right?
They're not worthy.
Yeah, they're not. And he's saying at this time to himself, he's like just talking. He's like, all right, this is it. I died. I'm dying. You know, this is the end. There's going to be no songs about me. I'm in an empty Asgard, but, you know, this is what it is. I failed. And then you see the Berserkers put him down on the throne. Just sit him back in there.
Dude.
Yeah.
What a bro move.
Yeah. It's rough. And he's like, what? He like kind of comes to, like, what? What is going on? And he's just so angry, you know? But he's had the crap kicked out of him. It's like, not like he can fight too much more, but he freaking starts crawling back out to just fight them because he wants to die. It's like the end for him, you know?
Yeah.
And he gets to the steps again, going down. He calls Mjolnir. It flies through, hits a couple of the demon berserker dogs, and he just starts going at it again. He's like, kill me. Just kill me. And that's where that part ends for him. So now we go back to present Thor, and he's flying through the air with Iron Man. And Iron Man's giving him like a little, all right, so we're triangulating on that cave that you told me about based on the coordinates you kind of gave me, and we're trying to figure it out.
Iron Man's here.
Iron Man's here.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's just using like...
RDJ.
Yeah, he's using some, you know, Stark tech
Beep,
to
beep, boop, 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 beep,
figure out
beep,
where
beep.
the cave was.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So he's trying to figure out where the cave was,
Yeah.
right?
Stark Tech.
Stark tech, exactly. So they find the cave, and Thor gets a little bit solemn. And he's like, all right, this is where it all went down last time. Iron Man's like, all right, I'm here for you. What do you need? He's like, actually, I got to do this alone, man. And what I do need you to do, though, is go warn the other gods. Start with Olympus. Let them know. Something's going on, and we're going to need help.
Iron Man. Get out of the comic. It's a Thor comic.
Yeah, royalties. You got to pay for everyone.
He's like,
every
Iron
panel
Man,
he's in.
go do some stuff that's not this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Go fight some other Iron Man
Yeah,
type
you
people.
go fight the Iron Man guys. This one's my
Yeah,
comic.
this is my comic.
Yeah.
This is an Avengers comic. Get out of here.
You know what's funny though? Let me tell you something.
I feel like this should have been an Avengers comic. This is like an Avengers threat, so
It is, but not really. It's only a god threat, right?
Avengers don't
Gorr
care.
is only killing gods.
Avengers don't care about gods.
No, but you make a good point because I want to say something. There actually is a panel where Thor says, like, Tony Stark, you're actually probably one of the closest things that humans have to gods. And you're like, ooh, that's a pretty intense comment.
That's a lot of burden.
Yeah.
He's already got a huge ego. He really didn't need that.
His head actually explodes at that point.
Yeah.
It's just so big. He does what Gorr did to Chernobog the Black before. Headless. Boom.
Yeah.
Done. He learned a couple things. So, all right. Iron Man flies off. Thor goes into the cave looking for some clues, trying to trace his steps back. Because remember, he thinks he killed him back then, right?
Oh, with the explosion.
Yeah, he cut his arm off and he exploded. Right? So now you're probably wondering, like, oh, why? Before you're probably wondering, like, how come he didn't realize? How come he didn't connect the dots? Obviously, this is Gorr because he's going through time. But he thinks he killed him before.
It's ghosts.
It's a Gorr ghost.
It's a
You got
Gorr
it.
ghost. What Thor's got to do is he got to find that ghost and bounce that ghost right out of there, bro.
Yeah. Speaking of Ghostbusters,
Ghost bounces.
If it helps at all for your visual,
Yeah.
the dogs kind of look like the demon dog in Ghostbusters. Remember?
Rick Moranis?
Yes, it looks just like Rick Moranis. No, the dog that chases Rick Moranis. And I think goes inside
I am
him,
the
right?
keymaster. Are you the gatekeeper? And then just a bunch of Rick Moranis beating the crap out of Thor.
That's what it is. The black dogs are just a bunch of Rick Moranises. You're putting Rick Moranis' head on a bunch of dogs. Okay. So that's canon. Oh, man. Oh, God, I hate you.
I'm so lazy. I don't want to find the popping sound, so I'm just making it myself.
That works, man. Doing the VFX or the SFX sound effects yourself.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to go into Storyblocks and license it.
yeah, it's cheaper when you make the sound yourself.
I have a subscription. I'm just lazy. So, James, let me tell you about a comic.
Oh, please.
Yeah. There's a comic, it's a god comic similar to Thor, in which this guy gets more power the more that people like and subscribe to his channel.